Why, hi, welcome back, Salwe. Welcome back to our study of Latin. What have we been doing? Well, we've been looking at the present tense of amo, and we've gone through last lesson the whole of the present tense. And I think we need to probably focus in today's lesson about tense. What exactly do we mean by tense? You know, grammarians, those who study grammar, they talk about the present tense and the future tense and the past tense. What exactly do they mean by tense? Because I guess we're tempted to think of tense, the word tense. Is it to do with stress? Is it to do with, worrying about exams or worrying about paying the bills or that type of thing? No. Tense in grammar does not mean stress. Certainly doesn't. What else can it mean? Tense. We can talk about tensing our muscles, can't we? If we're exercising a lot and we get lots of, we tense our muscles to make them big and strong. So tense in that sense, it doesn't mean in grammar. I can tell you that. Let me tell you that tense in grammar, when we talk about tense in grammar, it means time. So when we're talking about tense, present tense, we're talking about present time. When we're talking about future tense, we mean future time. Or when we're talking about past tense, we mean past time. And little history of the word tense, I maybe can give you a little inkling in now. The word tense actually comes from an old French word, temps, spelled T-E-N-S. That's the old French word, not the current French word, not the modern French word, but the old French word for time. And we get the English word tense in the sense of time from this French word, temps. Okay, so time. Tense means time. It's not stress. It's not tensing your muscles. And a notion of time, I guess, is something that we definitely have as human beings. Let's imagine that this is the road of time. The road of time. And here's me, or here's you, or here's anyone. We're don't claim to be an artist. Here we are. We're walking. We're walking on the road of time, and we're walking along this road. We're walking, whether it's you or whether it's me. We're walking to the future, and we've come from the past. So behind us is the past, ahead of us is the future, and where we are now is the present. This is our present moment in time, and this is what we do as human beings. We conceive time as either past, present, or future. So if I'm talking about the present, it's I walk. I walk now in the present. Previously, in the past, I walked. That's a past tense. I walked. And in the future, if I'm still walking on this road of time, I will walk. I will walk. So as human beings, and this is all human beings, not to do with the Latin language or the English language, it's a human thing. We conceive of time as in three basic divisions of past, present, and future. And the present is what we're doing now. I walk. I walk. But we could also say, in English, not only I walk, but I could also say, I am walking. I am walking. It's still, I am walking now. It's still present. It's still present time, but we've got another way of saying it in English. Not only I walk, but I am walking. I guess we could even say not only that, but I do walk. I do walk. I do walk. So let's think about these three ways, at least three ways we have of expressing the present tense in English. I walk, I am walking, I do walk. And let's go back to Latin. Okay, so our modal verb, we're still using amo. Amo. We said that amo in Latin means obviously I love, okay? But it also means, I am loving. English has this form, I am loving, to express the present tense, as we've just seen in our little diagram, but Latin hasn't. Latin only has one form. Latin, amo, means either I love or I am loving, or indeed, English has this I do love. Oops, there's a V there. I do love. Again, Latin only has one way of expressing this, amo. And it's interesting because we'll find when we're studying Latin that sometimes English is better than Latin. It does more. It's more expressive. It's more nuanced, as possibly in this case, because we've got three ways in English. 1, 2, 3. 3 ways of translating just the single Latin verb, amo. Okay. But in other instances, we'll see that Latin is more expressive than English, and Latin has got more ways of doing things, is richer and more nuanced. But anyway, for the present tense, it's amo, one way in Latin, 3 ways in English, and we give names to this, or grammarians give names. If in English, if we just talk about I love, they call that the simple present, the simple present. Okay, but if they're talking about I am loving, I am walking, I am eating, the am form, the I am doing something, grammarians call that in English the progressive. The progressive. Okay, but if you want to emphasize something in the present, if you want to emphasize I do love ice cream, I do enjoy studying Latin, I do like going to bed early on a Saturday evening, whatever it might be, I do something that emphasizes it. It gives it emphasis, and we can call that an emphatic form in English. So Latin has one form, English has 3 forms, and let's just make sure we understand how we translate them now. So if we have amas, the second person singular, it means, of course, you love. We've seen that in our previous lessons. But we can now say that it not only means you love, but you should try and read out loud with me. It's you are loving. There's the progressive form. And not only does it mean you are loving, but it also means you do love. If you really want to emphasize something, you do love doing your homework, for example. So amo, amas. What was the next one? The third person singular was amat. Remember, no macron here, macron there, a drops out there. No macron here. Amat means he, she, or it loves. He, she, or it loves. Okay. But as a progressive, we can translate it as he, she, or it is loving. And as an emphatic form, you can predict this now. We're native speakers of English, so we can do this. He, she, or it does love. He, she, or it does love. Notice how the English is changing in form. We change in English from am to are to is. We change from do, we keep it as a do, and then we change it to a does. So English changes in form as well, but we know that naturally because we're English speakers. Let's move on to the plural, amamos. Let's fill in this chart now, if you like. You can call it a chart. It's we love, and therefore we are loving, and therefore for the emphatic form, we do love, we do love, we do love. And let's work backwards. Let's work backwards here. Let's give the second person plural in the emphatic form in English is you do love. You do love. What's it going to be here? You tell me. Speak it aloud. It's the same as the singular form, isn't it? You are loving. For the second person, whether it's plural or singular, it's the same form throughout. Same form throughout for the singular or for the plural. So of course here we just simply have you love, and therefore we need to put the Latin. We go to the stem, ama, and put tis on the end. And finally, our third, amant, no macron here, no macron here, means in the simple tense, they love. And then in the progressive in English, it's they are loving. And in the emphatic, it's they do love. They do love. Okay, so notice we've just got 6 forms in Latin, but my word, we've got all these forms here in English. Okay, but we know this anyway because we're native speakers of English, so we can easily generate these meanings. Let's practice it a bit. We've got a moment or two left. Let's practice this a bit. If I were to give you a verb like parant, you could translate that as, will you do it with me? Obviously it means they prepare. Obviously it's a progressive, it means they are preparing. And as an emphatic, it means they do prepare. And when you're translating a passage of Latin, you can take your pick. You decide which makes best sense in that particular instance. So if I want to say he kills, he killed, or let's say he is killing, he is killing, he is killing. I want to translate that from English into Latin. I remember that the verb to kill is necare, necare. So it's the third person singular. I go to the stem, but there's no macron of it on the A here, drops off, so it's necat. He is killing, or it could mean she is killing, or it could mean it is killing, or it could mean he kills, or she kills, or it kills, or it could mean he does kill, she does kill, or it does kill. You'll get plenty of practice in all these verbs, all the different translations of these Latin verbs in the exercises, and I think we'll call it a halt there for this session. So hope that went well. See you next time. Wale, wale.